Does Drew Brees rank in the top 3 quarterbacks of the last 20 years?
Wow. I really don't know the answer to that question. Obviously, you got to go Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, even Peyton Manning, since you bring up the last 20 years or whatever. My initial answer would be no, but it's top 5. Drew Brees is absolutely sensational. What is it now? He's got 77,416 yards passing. He missed 5 games this year, still threw for 2,979 yards, 27 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions, completed 74% of his passes. This is one of the all-time greats, and I would say top 5 for the last 20 years definitively. Top 3 would be a bit tougher, but I could make an argument that he belongs in the top 3. I could do that.
I think this is an easy one. The answer is no. Love Drew Brees. Like the McNabb thing, there's nothing against Drew Brees, but this is an easy no. Tom Brady is the most accomplished. He's number 1. Peyton Manning was better than Tom Brady in the regular season, but folded under pressure. But even Peyton Manning folding under pressure, his drop-off is still, he's falling from the highest heights probably ever in the regular season, still good enough to win 2 Super Bowls. And then there's Aaron Rodgers, who's better than all those guys at his best, really. All those guys, when they were active, there were stretches in their career where they were unquestionably a top 2 quarterback. That's never been the case for Drew Brees. That's why he's never won an MVP. He is many years a top 3 quarterback, never considered the best, usually not one of the top 2. Qualitatively, the primes of their careers, and including Super Bowls and everything, Drew Brees is 4th, a definitive 4th on that list. So great. Top 5, I agree, Stephen A. Easy call, not top 3.
See, I think it's easy on the other way. I think it's an easy yes, and I think it's because of what you said. You got to be consistently good to be great, and Drew Brees has been consistently great, if we're being honest. 68% completion percentage over the course of his career.
In a dome.
That's the best ever.
In a dome.
Sure, in a dome, but he doesn't get to dictate where he plays. He just plays on a football field. He says, put me on grass, I'll do it on grass. He's only played with a top 10 defense twice over the course of his career, and he still has that Super Bowl ring to bring home. But when I look at it, Max, I look at his consistency, because you say, obviously you have Brady, you have Manning, and then that 3 spot is the question mark. And you'd be inclined to put Rodgers there. But even look at this year. I mean, Brees was better than Rodgers in this year alone, although Brees is 5 years older than Rodgers. And that's not an opinion. That's just a fact. If you turn on the tape or if you just look at the stats, however you want to deduce it, however you want to do it. So as I look at it, Brees has made the claim to be the best because he's been so good for so long.
Rodgers' peak was clearly better than Drew Brees' peak.
For sure, but you have to sustain that.
But he had enough. Rodgers at his worst. Like, this is the worst season that I've seen Rodgers have as a starter this year. His team got to the NFC Championship game. Oh, okay. But his team did. Drew Brees was on a better team, and they did not get as far.
But why did the Packers get to the NFC Championship? Remember, that defense is what put them at 12-4.
Teddy Bridgewater was 5-0. They were pretty good.
They were, but remember, who were we talking about this year as far as the Packers? We weren't just talking about Rodgers. We were saying, man, has Rodgers fallen off?
Admittedly, but when you talk, Stephen A., when you talk about consistency, I'm saying this is, you can point to this year and say, hey, wasn't that great this year? Got to the NFC Championship game. All the other years, this dude is like, we need to win 8 straight to make the playoffs. No problem. Every year you look at the odds, they're one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Why? Because of Aaron Rodgers.
Are we boring you, Stephen A.?
That's how you look at it. Yes, y'all are. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that. Because here's how I look at it. Here's how I look at it. I understand if you're a scrub and then you had a good year. But when you've had a sustained level of excellence, plus you've been a champion, I think the sustainability portion matters more than the aberrations. If you've had, for example, we were talking about Eli Manning earlier compared to Big Ben Roethlisberger, who they have comparable numbers and equal number of Super Bowls and what have you. But it doesn't matter to me that one made the playoffs 4 to 5 times more than the other.
So who
that
you arguing
does
for?
Matter.
So who you arguing for? Like you're arguing for Brees.
So Eli might have. So for me, again, I think Drew Brees is definitely top 5. Top 3, probably. I just got to think about it because they dropped the question on me, and I really haven't thought much about it.
Over who? Over Rodgers. It's not
Aaron
over
Rodgers,
Peyton
Tom
or
Brady.
Tom Brady.
Aaron Rodgers, and no. What I'm saying, you got Tom Brady, you got Peyton Manning,
Manning.
you
Yeah.
got
You got-
Aaron Rodgers. I
That's
gotta
it.
think about that. I gotta think
gotta
about
think about it
that
that hard.
because Sean Payton.
Think
That's
about
pretty
it,
much
Stephen
it.
A. I'm
not thinking about
but
it
it
that
says
hard.
20 to 25 years is what I'm saying. So I'm trying to think back to the 90s.
Yeah.
'Cause that's 20, 25 years ago.
Four. Drew Brees comes in
You know?
4.
No.
Love him because
You had it right the
Afro
first
back
time,
then.
not
Stephen A.
hard. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.